We got Twitter beef. CM Punk and Eric Bischoff have been going back and forth on Twitter. This comes from Eric Bischoff making some comments about AEW and CM Punk on his podcast. Pause to read. If you don't want to, I'll summarize. More or less, Eric Bischoff is saying AEW is catering to its hardcore fans too much and not reaching out to grab a new audience. He also took a cheap shot at CM Punk, pretty much saying CM Punk doesn't know anything about the television business, like he knew anything about the television business when he started. As we know, CM Punk is not one to hold back his words, so he responded on Twitter, saying wrestling Twitter needs to stop amplifying the old head, bad faiths, bad take, carny dipshits. They had their moment in the sun, now let them die in the dark with their ego podcasts. Quote me. So Bischoff commented on something CM Punk said earlier, that Adam Cole and Daniel Bryan joining AEW is bigger than Hall and Nash joining WCW. Eric Bischoff basically saying this isn't even comparable, and then starts to make fun of CM, talking about how CM Punk thought because he could fight in wrestling, he could actually fight in real life. If I remember correctly, CM Punk is trained in judo. I just think he was too old to enter the UFC. When Brock Lesnar did it, he was still young, and plus Brock Lesnar is a freak athlete. And when a fan asked Eric Bischoff on Twitter if he's not afraid to burn any bridges, he said he's not scared to burn bridges, he could swim. Now here's my take on this. I don't listen to Eric Bischoff, Booker T, or none of these old heads with podcasts that think they know a thing about wrestling today. What they don't understand is that it has changed. Times have changed. You can't do the same thing that you did in the 90s and expect it to work today. I criticize WWE for its shit on-screen product, but arguably they're still being successful with it. If you go to their YouTube channel, those same shitty segments usually have tremendous views on YouTube. It's usually because people are going, oh, look at this dumb shit WWE's doing again. Which is the wrong way to do it in my opinion, but it works for WWE. I just know for a fact they're not going to make new stars by having Madcap Moss tell stupid jokes and wear suspenders and short shorts. So any wrestlers out there, don't go to WWE if you're expecting to be a superstar. Go there if you just want to make some money. As far as Eric Bischoff's comments, he's somewhat right. If I had a wrestling promotion, I would cater to my hardcore audience and have one or two segments aimed towards the mainstream. Arguably, AEW is already doing this. This is why they brought Shaq. This is why they had T-Pain in the crowd. This is why they brought Satnam Singh, who's a former NBA player. So Eric Bischoff, AEW is already doing what you're telling them to do. Focus on the hardcore audience and have one or two mainstream segments.